Am I the asshole for not bringing my daughter's friend home and making her parents come get her? My daughter and I live about an hour outside NYC. Since she was a baby, I've taken her there most weekends. As she got older, she occasionally brought friends. They always know the rules. Bring a bag with things for the train, carry your own stuff, stick together, expect lots of walking, and have fun. Phones are fine, but I encourage screen-free activities. I always speak to parents beforehand and emphasize the walking. We sometimes walk 45 minutes or more. For her 12th birthday last weekend, she wanted to go to the city with friends, visit favorite spots, have dinner, and maybe see a show. My mom helped pay for tickets and joined us. My daughter invited 3 girls, 2 longtime friends who know the routine, and a new friend, Leah. I called Leah's mom, explained the rules, warned about the walking, and suggested Leah bring something for the train since the signal is bad. Leah's mom said she was excited. My daughter also explained expectations. On the train, Leah brought only her phone, got bored when the signal cut out, refused to chat or play games with the others, and complained. When we arrived, she immediately asked for a cab. My daughter reminded her we walk. As we browsed shops, Leah kept whining and asking for a cab. I stayed patient, offered water and snack breaks, and even suggested the subway to be nice, but she refused when she learned what it was. A few hours in, we stopped for dinner at a place with options for everyone. Leah complained again and said she wanted to go home. I pulled her aside to check if she was sick or upset. She just said it was boring. I told her we'd be there a few more hours for the show, but if she wanted to leave, she could call her mom. Leah called, and her mom asked me to bring her back. Even if my mom or I left with Leah and took a train back after we dropped her off, we'd miss the show, and my daughter wanted both of us there. I explained we wouldn't head back until after the show. Leah's mom didn't want to pay for a train ticket or drive. She eventually sent Leah's dad, who picked her up before the show. Leah stayed crabby through dinner. Afterward, Leah's mom trashed me to the other moms, but they backed me up, saying they wouldn't expect me to cut the trip short unless a child was sick or hurt, which I would do. Now Leah's mom won't let her hang out with my daughter. I can't help wondering if I should have just sucked it up and taken her home. Am I the asshole? Leah is TA. You and your daughter are better off without her negativity and entitlement. Sounds like a fun day. I would have loved it. Winky face. Not the asshole. Sounds like Leah not being allowed to hang out with your daughter was the perk of this whole ordeal. She was warned of what the trip entailed and agreed, then got bored because she can't be without her phone and is lazy. Why should you cut your daughter's birthday trip short because of her? Expecting you to bring her home too is wild. Leah sounds like a spoiled brat. LOL. Not the asshole. When you are with friends, you shouldn't even need much things for the train. Refuse to chat or play games with the others. She could have participated and would not have been bored. We sometimes walk 45 minutes or more. That is actually nothing. Even a lot of 70-plus people would have no problem to do this. Opie's mother was coming along, too. A 12-year-old should not have any problems to walk for such an amount of time. I live about an hour outside NYC. 2 hours driving back and forth is way too much, especially as there were alternatives like Leah's parents paying for a train ticket or getting her by themselves. Leah was not sick or hurt, and worse was even spoiling the fun of a child's birthday party. Not the asshole, and it sounds like that association is no loss. You organized a great outing for your kid and her friends and did your due diligence beforehand. Now you know not to do anything with those people again. I'm glad it doesn't sound like they succeeded in ruining the birthday party, despite their best efforts. Am I the asshole for not making my son thank his stepmother first thing when we got home? My son, 11, got to go to his first professional football game with myself and his grandfather. The game was several hours away, so we made a weekend of it and got back just in time to shower, etc. to go to bed because school tomorrow. My wife of 5 years had the idea for us to go this weekend, and I organized everything from there with my dad. Well, I get home, unpack etc., and she's just sitting quiet in our bedroom. For context, she did some house projects and cleaning over the weekend, which I really appreciated and think are amazing. When I was telling her that on the way home she started huffing about me being messy. I'm not really messy, just not her level of clean, and saying I'm ungrateful for what she did. She then went radio silent. So I ask her if she's going to talk to me at all since she barely said hi. She then tells me her feelings are hurt that I didn't have my son come and tell her thank you for the weekend. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I was focused on him getting to bed, but he does know it was originally your idea. She starts in on how it would have taken 3 seconds for him to do it, etc. She keeps harping on him, and by extension me, about not being grateful to her. I had already told her thank you earlier in the day. Am I the asshole for not making my son thank his stepmother first thing when we got home? Edit. She said she was sharing her feelings, not necessarily her expectations. But wouldn't the cause of the feelings be an expectation? Update. Kiddo thanked her today. She asked if he was prompted to do so, which made him feel bad. Yes, there are lots of other issues with this being the most recent. I do think we are circling the drain. She didn't pay for the tickets. She didn't organize the weekend. She wasn't owed thanks if she didn't do anything. I'm confused, thanked for what? Her idea. Cleaning. He's 11. She's an adult. He needed to go to bed for school. He can thank her in the morning for whatever it is he needs to thank her for. She's acting like a child. Not the asshole. She keeps harping on him, and by extension me, about not being grateful to her. I had already told her thank you earlier in the day. Your wife is weird. Trying to create issues with, and for an 11-year-old child where there should be none. Not the asshole. But your wife is something. Not the asshole. Why should he thank her for coming up with the idea? She didn't do anything. She's being petty and manipulative, and keeping score with a literal child, huge asshole. Wait. She's upset he didn't thank her for the idea? The idea? Oh my. She sounds fun. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Why should your son thank her? Thanks for coming up with the idea that my dad take me to a football game. It just feels icky and weird. Am I the asshole for using my aunt's personal employee discount code to buy clothes? My aunt, F42, works for a major clothing brand in a senior position. Employees get a personal discount code. Hers is usually 50–75% off. That she can use, and it varies based on the position. My aunt sent me the code saying, if you need anything, here's my employee code. I was excited because I love the brand and wanted to update my wardrobe, and money has been tight with school and all. I ended up buying a decent amount of clothes, probably more than I normally would if I didn't have the discount. When she found out how much I purchased, she was angry with me. Now she's making me feel bad for using it, like I took advantage of her. And I'm feeling guilty. She did send me the code voluntarily, and didn't say there was a limit. But if it's her own corporate perk, maybe I crossed a line, and she could get in trouble. So am I the asshole for using my aunt's personal corporate employee discount to stock up on clothes? Or was it fair game since she gave me the code to use? Everyone sucks here. She should have told you to use it within reason. You should have used some common sense. The code is associated with her employment, and its use or abuse reflects on her and may cause her a problem. The reason companies monitor, limit, and eliminate these perks is because of abuse like your shopping spree. You are the asshole, slightly. I think it's probably commonly understood with something like this that you don't go hog wild. It sounds like you went hog wild. Info, how much? Yes, she may not have realized you would get so much. I have an employee discount, but if you spend more than $500 at a time, then it gets flagged, as they don't want people buying a bunch of stuff for everyone. It's for the employee to use. Which $500 is still a lot for a single purchase. I wouldn't think too much about it. It would have been good for you to clarify before buying so much. There may not have been an explicit limit, but if people abuse it, you lose it type of situation. She should have given you a limit. You should have realized that you shouldn't buy more than 1 or 2 essentials with it unless she cleared it first. Always check out any great deals before taking them so you are sure you understand what's involved. You are the asshole. Use common sense. It's okay if you buy a few things here and there. But it sounds like you bought a whole new wardrobe. If you were going to do that, you should have asked for permission first or had her come with you. She probably could have bought all of your stuff and had you reimburse her. She can probably get in trouble for letting other people use her code. She could lose her discount code, face disciplinary action, or even potentially be fired. Making big purchases would definitely be suspicious. You were greedy. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to stop yelling at the TV during football games? I'm honestly too embarrassed to ask any friends that I'm close to for help, so I made this throwaway. I've never done this before, so if I do something wrong, please LMK. Okay, so me, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 25 male, have been dating for 2 years now, and he absolutely loves football. Like loves it. Every Sunday and some weekdays he's always plants himself on our couch. We live together. Watched football, and just yells at the TV. Like screaming at the refs, cursing out the players, cheering loudly when someone makes a good pass, etc. The problem is I didn't grow up in a household where yelling was considered safe. My dad was abusive, and whenever he raised his voice, it was almost always followed by something worse. My boyfriend knows this, and even though I have not one doubt in my mind that he would never lay a hand on me, the sound of him yelling even when it's at the TV and never me makes me really anxious and uncomfortable. It was never a problem before, and we only moved in together this summer. But with football SCN starting up and still being pretty fresh, and it's already bothering me this much? I don't know how much longer I can handle it. 2 days ago, I tried to nicely bring it up and was honest, saying his yelling felt aggressive to me and it brings up bad memories. I asked if he could tone it down or find some other way to get his excited energy out. He got upset when I said it felt aggressive and told me that hurt his feelings. He told me he's just passionate about football because he grew up in a very sports-centered home. He added that I was overreacting because he's nothing like my dad and would never hurt me. He's been a little moody and avoiding me ever since, and I feel guilty now. If I could, I'd just go to another room in our house, but you can literally hear his yelling from every spot, and I just don't think it's sustainable for me to try to leave every time he decides to watch football. So am I the asshole for asking him to stop yelling? What are you guys in the comments on? I'm a football fanatic, and if my girlfriend asked me to stop yelling because it was sending her back into that dark place, I'd stop, no questions asked. I legit cannot comprehend how this is hard to do. I mean, it would probably be difficult to adjust to, and yeah, he's going to slip up and shout again sometimes, but he can at least try. She's not asking him to stop watching sports. Easy, not the asshole, and if this is something he refuses to budge on, you gotta find someone more up your alley or soft-spoken and empathetic. Men do not need to yell to enjoy sports. Not the asshole. It doesn't even have to be traumatizing for it to be fucking annoying. It's fully inconsiderate to just scream in a house where other people, who have stated that they don't enjoy screaming in the house, also live there. He's a grown man, he can control his volume. Not the asshole, but good luck with this situation. There's a lot of entitlement with mega fans thinking they have the right to act as ridiculously as they want. The fact that he's sulking about being asked to use his inside voice feels very telling to me. Same with him telling you that you're overreacting with your traumatic experiences. Yes, he has a right to have fun, so you'll need to find some type of compromise too though. Why people in these comments are acting like it's totally unreasonable to ask him to watch the TV without yelling at it. It is entirely possible to watch and enjoy sports without doing all that. Especially when you have a girlfriend who has childhood trauma and potentially PTSD that gets triggered by it. He should care about you enough to make that effort. It is not a big ask at all. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Am I the only one who thinks that a grown-up yelling at the TV with every good pass, screaming at refs watching sports, is little too much to handle couple of times every week? I'd understand once a year during a championship or during Olympics, but every single weekend plus some weekdays? Oof. Also, his reaction is very dismissive. He sounds little immature.